I'm so excited to be here with you. Thank you so much for joining today. Um, I haven't, this is like the first free thing I've done, I don't know if ever or for a really long time. So thank you so much for joining. And there are so many people who were interested in what I'm going to speak about today that we had to change our platform because it didn't hold enough space for everyone who wanted to be here. So thank you so much. And my guess is that each of you are here because you, on some level, are also feeling the extraordinary shifts that have been happening and want to know more about it and understand more what's happening in your system. So for me, my reality shifted a couple of decades ago, and I started seeing through all the veils and layers of reality. So what I'm sharing today is from my direct vision, my direct experience, and I'm so excited to tell you the good news, right? The good news of what's been happening. For me, there's been an awakening process, opening through each layer of consciousness. And every time that happens, there's a whole new level of understanding, embodiment, skill set, new spiritual superpowers that we all have. And this most recent shift that has gotten me so excited about sharing is that we've shifted to a different perspective that has a quality of invincibility. And I want to explain some of the details of that and what that might be doing in your life. So if I share just a little more about my inner experience, when my awakening happened, I started seeing consciousness, our stories, our souls, our karma, our DNA, our conditioning, all those details on the inside are actually inseparable from light, sound, physics, chemistry, anatomy, the whole thing. All of our sciences together are actually different windows into the extraordinariness of what we all are. And so what's been happening as I am seeing through these shifts is that it's like the veils have been thicker. Our ability to penetrate and see through and access our enlightened self and access our soul memory, access our self as source has been, I don't want to say blocked because that's not true. It's never blocked. But been harder to make our way through. There's been a greater density. So when I'm offering healing work, I'm seeing the details of people's stories, of their thoughts, their emotions, their karma, your soul trajectory, your probabilities for your the highest probabilities for this lifetime, and where you are in that realm of probability, where you're aiming. And when I'm doing the healing work, I'm supporting the shifting of those details, but those details are also not separate from, it's going to sound out there, but it's not separate from the physics or the layers of reality. So to say it in a more simple way, that the shifting that's been happening is creating more space in between those layers that have been dense to have greater access. And the way that I'm put together, and one of the major reasons why I'm on the planet, is that I have the capacity to see through all these layers and support the transformation in all those layers for other people. And so part of this exciting news is that all the shifting that I'm seeing, I can articulate and speak to your soul directly to help you access these higher truths in yourself and help you acclimate and integrate and ground the higher frequencies that have been, previously really hard to access. I work with a team of guides, and I'm hearing some whispers in this moment. And so I just want to share this perspective also, that in the shifting that happened for me, I became aware of a massive, massive team of guides that are here in collaboration to support humanity shift through these difficult times, to accelerate your healing and your awakening and your enlightenment path. And we're doing that through addressing all of these components that I was just speaking about, addressing consciousness, karma, wounding, our stories from our lifetimes, our emotional pains, our repetitive patterns. We're working to support the transformation of all of that in these refined details of the subtle layers of existence that aren't so subtle for me. They're very full-blown technicolor. And in this activation, let me be quiet for a second. Just checking in with I'm just getting support here from things that they're wanting me to elaborate on. So in terms of this team that I work with, they are beings from a size I don't even have a name for, multiple galaxies beyond. And they're an extraordinary team of light beings with a level of mastery beyond anything I've ever known. And we're working together to support that shifting and support that through the refined details. It's hard to get that across. Let me just take another moment to to share. I'm so excited to be here with you. I'm just so excited that this is happening on the planet and that we're here. And so let me just take a moment here. So what's happening in the quiet is my system is shifting to start functioning from a little bit of a transmission mode, so that I'm communicating with you on multiple levels. Sometimes the words don't land as well as the precision of the transmission, which goes directly to your soul and your enlightened self. So let me just pause for a minute. So let me just speak a little bit more about the transmission, and that nothing is being done to you. There's nothing coming to you or at you in that way. So let me explain a little bit more. So when I'm working with my guides, we are co-creating an energetic container that is filled with the infinite wisdom and love and power and transformative capacity of existence. And with this team, we work to amplify that truth for each of you. And in a very gentle way, we are going to be doing this throughout our time together today on this call. So this field, and some of you may be feeling it or not, it's fine either way. Some people have really dramatic experiences, and some people it's much more subtle. And I wanted to offer it more as a subtle container for you, just to have a little taste of it today. And in this container, the infinite healing capacity and is all available. And because we're one consciousness, you are this. And the invitation is like the opening up the field, making it more accessible to you. So you have easier access to step into that field. See yourself, remember yourself, have access to your enlightened self. And when we do this together with the wisdom of all the beings that are here and the gifts that I have been given for this lifetime, it accelerates your healing in a very specific and unique way for each of you. So I'd like to talk a little bit about this invincible light body and share some of the details of what that looks like and how that's unfolding, and how your life can be currently being impacted by that, and how you can benefit from it by understanding it more and supporting yourself in your own integration. So when I have gone through this transforming, and maybe lots of you have had this experience already, so we just use the best words we have, right? So in terms of my describing, there's been a process for me in this awakening where I will open up through this certain level of reality, and then I hit a ceiling. And then consciousness continues to evolve and unfold, and then there's a breakthrough, and then that ceiling dissolves, and that ceiling then becomes the floor of the next level of reality that I am perceiving from or experiencing from. It may be that it's not so visual for you, and you have felt your own awakening process shifting, in the higher frequencies just have innately higher frequency. They feel lighter, they're less dense. And if you imagine that those floors or ceilings have particles, atoms, like the way our body has atoms, right? And the atoms of your skin hold your skin together, so it seems like you can't stick anything through there, right? And that when you hit a ceiling, it feels like that, you can't get through it. And then when consciousness shifts, however it is that you experience it, that ceiling isn't there. It has actually become permeable. So this invincible light body is related to this. For me, when I open up through each of these layers of consciousness, it dovetails with some aspect of physics, some aspect of anatomy, some aspect of who we are in our individual nature and the collective and oneness simultaneously. And in this shifting, my awareness had been conscious with all the atoms of existence as my embodiment. So I literally experienced that as my body. And then when the next ceiling was penetrated, then I was opening up in through subatomic frequencies. This totally relates to what I'm talking about. It can sound abstract, but it's what we're living. I mean, it's what your body's, it's what you're made of, right? We're just not used to necessarily being aware of it. And that's part of the gift that has come from me, is seeing the complete inseparability of everything. And so this recent shift that has inspired me to start using the word invincible has been a surrendering through the sealing of those, the subatomic frequencies, and opening up into a realm of light that is available for all of us. And so when I was speaking about, if you imagine those floors and ceilings having particles or atoms, and from a certain perspective, you hit the ceiling and you can't go through. When you have your shifts and you become more expansive, those particles that made that ceiling actually then have space between them. They had space there already, but your consciousness didn't know how to get through. So when you expand, your consciousness opens to a higher frequency, which has more space in between those. And then you can penetrate through that ceiling, and then it becomes a floor for your next level. And in the same way that I was speaking about the skin, and that same way of not being penetrable, when we shift to this layer where I'm speaking about the invincibility, the invincible light body, consciousness has shifted through those ceilings and floors and all, through layer upon layer, to where it has opened to the space that is in between those subatomic frequencies. And so what used to be the knit fabric or the knit ceiling has then been permeated. But the light from that truth penetrates everything. And the densities that we are struggling with are denser than that light. And they cannot penetrate the fabric that is made at that frequency level of consciousness. So I'm getting goosebumps, right? I'm hoping that I'm explaining this well enough, right? That the extraordinariness of what's happening, it just blows me away every moment. So what can happen in this process of this light starting to come through is the densities that can't fit through that can start to become illuminated. So it could be that you are having tons of challenging things happen in your life because they're being illuminated, because they're being vibrated to vibrate out of that denser frequency into liberation, into the deeper, higher, enlightened exquisiteness of you, of who you are, of the real you. So it could be that that's happening. It could be that you're already having ecstatic states and feeling greater ease and flow and synchronicity. You could be spending lots of time in meditation or nature because you're feeling all the shifting happening. It's going to be different for each of you. And just having an understanding can help make the process easier. One of the things that's happening for me is doing both, right? It's doing both clearing and purifying greater subtlety of thought and emotion, and also shifting the internal energetic anatomy to be able to carry and embody and transmit and be a conduit, a current for this larger this larger truth of what we all are. I'm going to take another quiet moment to see what else is important to share. Well, right now I'm actually seeing in through what I call the soul classroom, where we can gather and receive healing. And I'm seeing kinetic movement in between the particles or cells of your being. It's like where things start to wake up and or start communicating. Like an excitement of when a whisper goes out like into a room of like, oh, what's possible? It's like that quality of cellular excitement. So let me take a moment and see if we can do a little bit more of a transmission here. And I'm keeping my eyes closed because it's easier for me to visually not be distracted by the things my eyes are physically seeing in this realm versus being able to just see lucidly in the soul classroom. Sometimes I can do both, but in this moment it feels better to have my eyes closed while I do this with you. So we're starting with a just fundamental, grounded aspect of your identity. And there's a whole range of, everyone's in a different unique place in their life. And so we're coming to the physical ground to help illuminate and start to create, not create, it's already there, to bring attention on the soul level to the spaciousness that is available in between the physical aspects of yourself. And it doesn't matter if you can feel this or not. Sometimes people feel it afterwards. Sometimes people feel it in their, after sleeping. And obviously, if we were doing this for a longer session, it would be much more intense. And you'd be prepared in a different way to, go through different steps to support your ability to dive in and just, full on receive these extraordinary transmissions that happen. So we're just starting with something gentle and supporting with that physicality. Just to support that just gentle beginning expansion. And the space is already there. But it's like the space between your atoms. You don't necessarily notice it when you're walking around in your day-to-day. So we're just helping that be illuminated. And I'll also add that this team that I'm working with, we're working with the accelerating human consciousness, accelerating evolution. So the information that's present, even though it's in the universe, it hasn't necessarily been understood or accessible, and even on the soul level. And so this information that's coming through is, I want to say, there's an excitement to it. There's a upliftment to help lift us, to help remind us, to help us transform our stored densities and lessons, learning plan, karma, to help us transform that faster and easier, more easily, right? It's like that. And when you're also working with the guides that are here and myself in the soul classroom, your soul also can learn exponentially because all the information is present. Nothing is withheld, so that you have access to the light codes and the information and everything yourself. So you can experience and then continue to evolve. And now there's a very light, gentle dissolving of some of the density that just got loosened up from having the light come in this way. And again, we're being very gentle. The sessions can be super strong and intense and powerful, and this is a gentle version, just to offer a little bit of support. Since our time is so short, it serves most to offer it in this way. But it's like the little dense dust balls, got kicked up a little bit. So we're just offering a support, dissolving that. And you may feel that, you may not. The way it might show up is just feeling a little bit lighter, a little bit happier, a little bit more connected with how you really feel, a little bit more expansive, how you might feel after coming in from being outside in nature. This is gently, take another 30 seconds or so here, just in the silence to, I guess that's, I'll share after, I'll share after the 30 seconds of what's happening. So there is this gorgeousness in the resolving. As that density starts to clear, It's clearing off the clouds and the schmutz and the debris from who we really are. And so as this is happening, I'm starting to see the beauty of each of you and our innocence, our gorgeousness, our freedom, our power, our capacity to create, our love. It makes me want to cry. It's like, this is what I'm here for, right? Is to help people remember who you are. It's like this precious homecoming. That's why it makes me want to cry. It's like the yearning we each have, whether it's on the surface or just deep behind the scenes, impacting our choices. This deep yearning that we have to remember who we are and come into our wholeness. And even if we're already in a larger remembrance of our wholeness most of the time, there can still be these pockets that have these old stories that keep recycling, right? Those patterns that just keep coming back and coming back. And there's an opportunity to transform those too. And this light body, this invincible light body access is available now. And I'm wanting to support anyone who's interested, right? I'm wanting to support anyone who's interested in connecting with this truth on the inside, to support the grounding of that, the integrating of that, and the illuminating that comes with that, and then living that. And this is still happening in the soul classroom right now. There's still the gentle transmission, and just to help you get more in contact with who you know you are. And there can be such a profound relief, and a celebration and a joy, in that, connecting with that innocence and purity prior to any of the patterns. And that's what wants to come through. That's what wants to be remembered and lived. So all of this inspired me literally just a couple weeks ago to offer a weekend dedicated to accessing this invincible light body and accessing and integrating. And so that weekend is coming up next weekend. This all just happened recently, which is why you just got notice of this free event just a couple days ago, because it all just happened. It all just happened. Like, oh, wait a minute, do a weekend, do a free thing, right? Just like get this out there, like the magnificence that is available and possible. The invincibility is so profound, to feel that in yourself and feel the love and feel the radiance. And in the process of coming into that embodiment, however that is for each of you, in that process, you get to clear and resolve the stories and the wounds and the cycling patterns. You get to begin to clear that stuff along the way. And it's that gorgeous journey of coming home into the exquisiteness that you either know you are, or have forgotten that you are, or yearn for, or have had a taste of and want support, want more of that, want support coming into that. So there should be a link either popped in the chat or below the streaming if you want to join me for the live weekend next weekend. And let me offer a little bit more in support right now. So this is continuing to come down in through, continuing to find pathways through to ground in your feet to help you ground this a little bit more in this just little, our precious time together today. And we'll be doing more of that in the weekend. I'll also explain more about the anatomy and how that functions in terms of your own inner experience and the process that's happening. So you have more information on how to work with this yourself. And I'll also be offering exercises to help you practice, both to access and then integrate into your life. I haven't announced this yet, but I will also be doing a series in the fall, taking this a step further on how to clear your field from this multidimensional place, and how to bring this higher frequency embodiment in through your actions, in through your choices, in through your life's movement. So this new frequency is just so ready. It's just so ready to kind of, be birthed in your body, like to come in through your system now, and we'll just keep taking it. We'll just keep taking it further. I'll also just add that I offer a monthly. Let me just say this differently. This upcoming weekend is dedicated to this Invincible light body integration. The weekend is focused on that. We'll have 2 sessions a day, 2 hours each, and there'll be transmissions, there'll be explanations, there'll be exercises. We'll have Q&A. It'll be through Zoom. We can talk to each other. You can share your direct experience. I can look directly at you and look at your system in real time and tell you where things are connecting, where they're not, what kind of support is needed, what thought patterns are getting in the way. I mean, the lucidity that has come through my gifts, they're gifts, right? It's what has come, and they blow me away all the time still. It's like the vision just sees through the layers. So we'll get to have that real time communication with each other, and I can look at your system specifically. And so I'm just like so excited about having that opportunity to support you in that way. And in addition to that, I have an ongoing monthly live stream where we don't have the Q&A, where we're talking to each other, but it's 90 minutes of pure transmission of coming into this incredible healing container with all of these guides, and having a powerful transmission to help shift your consciousness, to keep you in alignment with the shifts in the cosmos, the cosmic shifts each month. And I'll share a little at the beginning and the end of each of those transmissions of what's happening and how you can integrate and what happened. But the monthly transmissions are dedicated to that powerhouse transmission. And I wanted to offer a gift to you guys today, since so many of you are here who are new to me and maybe seeing me for the first time. And I wanted to offer you the gift that if you signed up to join the Invincible Light Body Activation Weekend, to get that supercharged, focused exchange, and that if you signed up for that today, that I wanted to give you the first month free of your membership, so you could just check it out and see if you like it. And there's hundreds of transmissions in there that I hear over and over again from people, how they still feel the transmission through the recordings. And the reason that that happens is because we're functioning outside of time and space. And your soul can access all that information through the transmission, whether it was recorded, you're seeing it through the recording, or live. So the memberships give you an opportunity to join me live every month for those powerhouse events, healings, and have access to all of those recorded transmissions. And there's usually a discount that you get with, for any other things that I'm offering. So I don't know, I was just excited. So I was trying to think, like, what can I offer? What can I do to have you receive as much as you want, right? Receive as much as you want. Oh, and I was adding one more thing, that if you do that and sign up for the memberships and get the first month free, that you will also receive, believe it or not, I'm offering 50% off for your membership for every month after that you're consecutively a member. So so if you sign up today, you'll get an email in the next 24 hours telling you how you can join the memberships and get that first month free and the 50% off. So let me just listen. Can you tell I'm excited? This whole Invincible light. Oh yeah, let me share one more thing. That this is also what kicked off this whole thing. Why I got so inspired and I decided to do this weekend, this upcoming next weekend, doing this Invincible Light Body activation, is that a few weeks ago, when I was doing my monthly live stream, I always open and I see the soul classroom and I see everyone's souls like join the classroom, and I see what we're going to be working on. I see, all this gorgeous stuff, and then the density that's going to be, being transformed. And when I started, this light shift had been happening for me before the class. And so when I started to offer that live stream, I couldn't see anything. I opened, I couldn't see the classroom, I couldn't see any people, I couldn't see any souls, I couldn't see anything. And it was this moment of this pause of, okay, is my vision blocked? And then I realized I was seeing, there was just nothing to see. And since I trust life, I trust the process, I trust my guides, I trust you, I just stayed steady in the seeing with nothing happening. And a few minutes later, the soul classroom started reconfiguring itself. Same way I was describing the floors and the ceilings of everything being made of particles or atoms, the soul classroom is also made that way. It's consciousness. Atoms are consciousness. We are completely consciousness all the way through the light, all the way through what looks like form. This is also light. And so the soul classroom started reconfiguring itself in that greater refined subatomic particle, I don't know what words to use, nature. And I witnessed the soul classroom reconfigure itself in a higher dimensional frequency. Completely blew me away. The healing sessions, since that has happened, also are off the charts, completely blow me away, and is what inspired me to offer this free Zoom and offer this this upcoming weekend. So there you have it. I don't remember if I was supposed to share anything else or not. Let me just be quiet for a minute and see. Well, there's so much love. I just have so much love for each of us, right? Being human has been so hard. It has been so hard, and I've just come through, a few weeks of like extreme. I mean, you're not going to tell from looking at me. You can't tell, but I have been through extreme challenges. Like, I get it. Like, I've had so many challenges in my life, and chronic illness and chemical sensitivity and Lyme disease and all these things. Like, we go through really hard things. And yet life is extraordinary. And right now it is like exceptionally extraordinary. So my invitation to you is to know this, remember this. And if you want to join me in this and have my help, and help from this massive team of beings, helping you to remember more quickly and help you accelerate your healing and your transformation, I'm here. I'm available. And you can join me next weekend. You can join me every month. You can join me for a private session. I don't have any retreats available right now in person, but in the future, next few years, that will happen again. So I'm available and you can connect with me. And the most immediate thing is this coming weekend, and the link is below where you can join. So, and I'll just remind you that if you sign up today, that you'll get an email within the next 24 hours showing you how you can sign up and get your first month of the membership free, and get every consecutive month after that at 50% off the memberships. So, yeah, I think that's it. All right, I'll just take a moment and be quiet and see if there's anything else that I wanted to share. But I think that's it. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful to be able to share this and hopefully at minimum, like, ignite this recognition in yourself of what's possible. To ignite that, like, yeah, this is amazing. You're amazing. And these are amazing times. So thank you so much for being here. I'm sending so much love, and yeah. So there's a quieting happening in the soul classroom as we come to an ending. So enjoy, and you can, just knowing that this was a very gentle transmission today, just letting yourself be with the mystery of what that was or feels like, or how that will unfold. And if you want to reach out, please do. My website is kristinkirk.com, so you can always reach out there and send me an email. If you want to dive into this with me, I look forward to seeing you next weekend. Right. So much love and aloha.